Hi, Women's Network. I'm Wendy Moore. I have had the pleasure of co-chairing the Mentor program for the last 2 years.
Hey, Women's Network, this is Misty Phillips, and I served as the co-chair for the Women's Network Mentor and Mentee program for this past year as well. I've also actually went through the program myself, so I'm really excited to assist Wendy with recognizing the participants for those who have went through the program this past year.
And we are so excited to be able to honor the program participants for the 2019-2020 Women's Network Mentor Program. The first is serving as mentor was Tina Workman, who menteed Jesse Henderson. Karen Miller was a mentor to Brianna Larimer. Stephanie Wilmsmeyer was the mentor to Casey Schomburg. Suzanne Rothwell was the mentor to Andrea Wiggins. Jennifer Schenk was the mentor for Verna LeBoy, and Krista Kippenberger was the mentor for Leslie Wilbers.
Stacy Cole served as the mentor for Jennifer Horton. Kim Chen served as the mentor for Sarah Regal. Laura Piper served as the mentor for Leah Patrick. Tanil Lester served as the mentor for Cassie Carnes. Teresa Snow served as the mentor for Megan Steen, and Michelle Bates served as the mentor for Cindy Engel.
So thank you to all of our program participants this year. Your time is very valuable, and we hope that you enjoyed the process. And we always love to have the actual mentor-mentee pairs share their own testimonials about their experience throughout the program this year. So you are first going to hear from Krista Kippenberger and Leslie Wilbers, who are matched up, and they are going to share about the pairing process, ways that they really enjoyed getting to know each other as new friends, as a mentor-mentee, and then some tips and tricks and resources that they are giving back. And then after that, we will hear from Jennifer Schenk and Verna LeBoy about their experience, how much fun they had throughout the process with each other, and what they learned. And so we hope you enjoy hearing from these fabulous ladies directly about their experience in the program.
So I joined the program, I guess it's been almost a year, at least a solid 9 months ago, for the mentor-mentee program, and got paired with Krista. And we really hit it off, I feel like, from the get-go. And I know previously I've told other people that I don't know how the pairing happened, but it was the best pairing that I could imagine. So one of the things I had written on mine was that I wanted to be a kick-ass boss, but also an awesome mom. And I feel like after meeting with Krista, I really have improved, I would say, in both areas. There are parts of my life with, my home life that I feel like I had under control, but not necessarily at work, and trying to balance the two. So we've been able to work through that, and I've been able to get a lot of initiatives started here at the office. We've gone through a lot of hiring and firing together, so I have learned a lot along the way, and Chris has been an excellent guide during all of it. I really, to be honest with you, I don't know who else I would have reached out to. I think I would have just had to kind of figure it out on my own. So it's really nice to be able to have someone else in a very similar position and had past experience with that, who is able to kind of help me get through that and then set myself on a path for the future and how to hopefully, learn from the past and move forward. So I really recommend this program, even if it's just to find somebody who's had other experiences to share. Even if you might not, have everything the same style as them. I think it's nice to open your eyes to see different styles, especially for me being newer to it and not knowing what my style is yet. It's been nice for me to try different angles. And I don't think I would have known any other angle to try if I hadn't at least gotten to bounce ideas off of Krista and kind of move forward from there. I really enjoyed that we got to meet so often. So we were on a pretty regular schedule pre-COVID. And we met once a month We did coffee and got together for about an hour. We made sure, when we left one date that we set it up ahead of time, so we didn't, miss out on the month. And we covered a lot in those hours, and we kind of spent, we went off with homework, if you will, on what to kind of work on. And then, next time we came in, we would kind of pick up where we left off. There was never a moment, I feel like, where Krista and I didn't have anything to talk or share about. I think that was the nice thing, is we connected on a personal level as well. So you kind of got a little bit of that girl time ahead of time, which is always needed, I feel. And then we were able to jump right into business. So our personalities, I think, matched up really well. I'm trying to think of other tricks or tips to pass along to the new people, other than I can't, recommend it any more than I already have. I think it really can help someone get to the next level and also open their views. You've got to be willing to learn. I think that's one thing that a lot of people struggle with, is knowing how to keep learning, and having someone else who has gone through similar situations and has recommendations. It's a perfect way to learn. So that's kind of been my experience, and I can't believe it really comes to an end. I didn't really think that all the way through. I just assumed that it would continue on, I guess, and maybe it does. At least you could create that friendship one, and then the professional relationship.
I was hoping you would say that, like we could
Yeah.
continue on. I was like, I hope she doesn't want to stop.
No, yes, and I can't wait until we can actually pick up in person at our coffee
Yes.
dates, whenever
Yes.
that might be. So Krista and I cannot say enough how much I think we've hit it off. And who did the pairing? I don't know. High five to you. And I've heard that from multiple different groups, that the pairing was just excellent. So I think you're asking the right questions on the interview when you fill out the questionnaire at the beginning. The one nice thing about the program too is you don't meet too much. I know in our lives we're so busy, and it's been manageable, especially for me in a smaller office. It's hard for me to get away, but I've made it a priority one. But even the group meetings that we've had, the first meeting for the program itself, and then I know we've had a lunch in between there too. It wasn't overwhelming. So don't think that your schedule's too busy. I think that you can work it in.
I'll second you on the time thing. Like that had been my only holdup on doing this mentoring program in the past. Like, I've been a mentee before and loved every minute of it. And I agree with you that that 1 hour a month was manageable. It was definitely right on time and just a perfect meeting. But then when I was thinking as a mentor, oh, that's too much time. But I have to say, I enjoyed every minute of being a mentor as I did when I was a mentee. And again, I do think it's because Leslie was such a good match. And it's hard to say like that I don't know a person, but I didn't know Leslie before we started. And so starting out, I was like, how is this going to be? We don't really know each other. But then our personalities, like she said, really did match up. We became fast friends. And, Leslie is so coachable. She would take my perspective or look at it in a different way with me and be able to turn around and say, I'm going to implement this in my office. And that's exciting to be able to see someone go back and take action and put it into play and change her environment for the better. I think that is something that a leader does. And Leslie has that quality of being an excellent leader because she wants to grow herself. And so that was fun. I wasn't just going to a meeting talking blankly to someone who didn't really want to be coached. She was very open and, honest. And I think that is what really makes a good mentee. As far as a plug for the mentors, it's one way for you to give back to your mentee. And I love that there are so many women who are stepping up and saying that they would be a mentor. We are so fortunate to have those women in our organization, and I got to benefit from it and just love that we are continuing to do this.
I agree. I think I appreciate you taking the time, Krista, to join the program, because honestly, I don't know what I pictured as a mentor, and I don't know what I pictured as a program when I first got started. I just knew that I was newer to the business community in Columbia, and I needed somehow to learn about Women's Network. I've been a member for years, to be honest with you. My name's been on the registry for years, and I had gone to very few events, very few lunches. And then finally, the one I went to, I think there's a sign-up sheet on the table, and I thought, this is the way. This is the way for me to kind of get my foot into the door. And I didn't know how the program was going to go, or what the meetings would be like, but I am really thankful that you decided to sign up to be a mentor, because I'm sure all the other mentors are great. I haven't met any of them really and known their work style, but I couldn't imagine have been paired up with anybody else. So it's gone really well for me. And I know from other mentees that they've said the same thing, that they don't know how the pairing happened, but it was perfect for them and their lifestyle and their, how they worked and learned. So I was really glad that you decided to give your time. I think that's one of the reasons we probably got paired up, is I wanted to be a kick-ass boss, but you had an awesome mom, and someone knew you were an awesome mom.
Oh, that's
boss. So they thought, yes, this is who
good.
she needs to go with. So I learned a lot, and that I've been focusing on the work side of things, but the mom part, which I kind of left out earlier, the time that you've had and the time management, I think that's where I have lacked a lot, and knowing when to turn it off work-wise and be there mentally and enjoying that time with our kids, because they're only young ones. And I still struggle with that at times, as I'm sure plenty of other people do as well, but I do feel that I've done a much better job of trying to turn it off when I'm at home and really focusing on being there and spending my time there. And time management in general, like, okay, this is when I'm going to do this, scheduling it out in a sense. I just been and adhering to the schedule. So it's really worked well on both sides, the mom and the boss side. I think I've learned a lot from Krista on both sides.
That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. I think, I remember when you first started and you said, I work after I put the kids to bed, and I, work late into the night and stuff like that. And I hated that for you, to be able to have to work all the time. So it was good to work on that with you and talk through that and just see, like, where else in your day could you make it fit. And you're extremely busy. Like, it was, when you said you made it a priority, you definitely did. I remember we had to cancel for snow, I think, one time, and you were right out to reschedule again and make it a priority. So kudos to you for that time management and that priority in your life.
So my experience of being Verna's mentor has been just fabulously fun. We've had a great time together. We've attended some fun events together. I've been able to invite her to a few things. She's done the same for me. I've been able to advocate for her for some different things that she's done in the community, and just help her be introduced to some different people that she didn't know, make some connections for her. I will say, when I first was paired up with Verna, I was a little nervous, because here is this award-winning community pillar woman that is just so dynamic and already well known in the community. What was I going to be able to offer her as a mentor? And from the very first time that we got together, I knew that we were going to mesh really well together, and we have. We've just had a lot of fun together. I think that I've learned as much from her as she has from me. It's been a fun pairing. We've really enjoyed each other's company. And Verna really wanted to work on some self-care for herself.
Yes.
And I know that that is something that for at least the last 15 years, that I have really worked on for myself. After I had a health issue, again, about 15 years ago, that was something that I knew that I needed to concentrate on for myself. And so I think I brought some of that to the table for Verna. You know, I allowed her to be authentic and vulnerable with me, and sharing
Yes.
those things that she wanted to work on. And I hope that that's been helpful, and just giving her a person that was her confidant and also
Yeah.
a partner.
You
So,
know, what you were able to do for me and this women's network was this mentoring program was able to do. I gave myself permission to be a mentee and to receive. And that's been an area that I haven't really explored. You know, I'm always the giver, but it was time for me to receive and to grow and to connect at a different level with Women's Network. Connecting with the Mentor Mentee program for those who feel like they're on the perimeter and really don't understand or connect with Women's Network, because when we come to the monthly meetings, it's so big and there's so many women. You eat lunch, you network with the people around your table, and then you race back to the office, race back to work. This gave me an opportunity to really connect with women on a personal, more intimate level at the network, and I appreciate that. I feel like I belong at Women's Network, and it's the place for me to be. I would recommend this even for women who maybe have just come to the luncheons and never engaged. I would recommend applying to be a part of the Mentor Mentee program and take a deeper dive into connecting at this personal, more intimate level. I learned a lot from Jennifer. Jennifer shared her gifts with me, and I believe I'm a better person, a better leader, future leader, because of the connections and the time we've spent together. Jennifer's a rock star, let me just tell you right now, and I appreciate what she's poured into my life.
well, and that goes just likewise with you as well, Verna. I could not have asked to be paired with anyone else that was amazing and already doing such amazing things in our community. And I just think that going through this program has enhanced who you are, it's enhanced who I am, and I think forever we will have a special bond. And I'm thankful to have done it with you.
And I am ready to explore other avenues at Women's Network. So this pandemic has put a stop to a lot of opportunities, but we'll just find new ways to connect. And I'm sure Women's Network will figure out a way to help women connect with whatever we're going through in our community. So thank you, Women's Network. This mentoring program has meant a lot to me, and I appreciate this opportunity.
Absolutely.
Jennifer invited me to some personal leadership development opportunities through Valerie Zumwalt. And I mean, those sessions were deep and really life-changing. And I am still impacted today by those encounters. So she shared some powerful opportunities with me. And yes, I'm glad that she thought of me and shared those opportunities with me. Otherwise, I would not have taken advantage of that resource in our community.
I'm so glad that was helpful for you. I think that's a big part of being a mentor, is to advocate for other women that are following along with us in our journey. And so I'm super thankful that I was able to include you in that and provide you that opportunity.
Aren't those ladies fabulous? We absolutely love hearing these successful stories of pairs that have gone through the Women's Network Mentor program.
We also want to take this opportunity and this time to ask other women who might be interested in participating in the program to go to the Women's Network website, where you can find the application is electronic and it's really easy. If you'd like to fill that out, we are starting to accept applications now. There will also be an announcement with a link in the Women's Network newsletter. This is a wonderful program and we highly recommend it, and we hope to see your application soon. Thank you.
And we think no one could have said it better than Ms. Verna LaBoy herself.
Ladies, this is a membership benefit that you should take advantage of. Don't sleep on this opportunity.